If you're ready to start your very first clothing company, you have come to the right video because this is going to be a style where we just build it together. By the end of this video, you will be ready to collect sales for your business if you just play and pause the video and set this up with me. So you do have to already be committed to the idea. I'm not going to sell you on why you should be pursuing this, but what I will say is if you have no experience with any kind of business, you are in the right spot. This is a great first business to start. You're not going to need a ton of extra skills, especially because we're going to be using AI for a lot of this. You're not going to need to know any kind of computer programming. You're not even going to really need to know paid marketing or anything, right? Because I'm going to be showing you how this store that I built, this clothing company that I built about 60 days ago, how I've gotten 740 people to visit my website for a total of $580.30 worth of sales. And I think these are very obtainable results, and these are very realistic results to expect in the first 60 days. If it's going really well, I mean, this is honestly above average results for the first 60 days, especially using only organic marketing. But there's a lot of videos out there that will be like, here's how this person made $1 million with their t-shirt company. Like, of course, there are always outlier results, and maybe that would hook your attention better if I threw out some big numbers and would be better clickbait for the video about how to make $1 million with a Printify on-demand t-shirt business or whatever. But these are like numbers that you can actually expect even if you're doing really well. And if you make a couple $100 a month extra, especially in your first couple months, then that should be really something to be proud of. And I'm only going to show you actual obtainable, realistic numbers to the masses, not just throw out some big numbers just to be clickbaity. So this is a store that I've built. If you want to check it out, it's openaimerch.com, and you can see what I've got going in the last 2 months here. And I'm going to be just showing you the process. And if you are ready to build your clothing company, or you want to do backpacks or lunch boxes or socks, or throw designs on anything, then this is going to be the video for you, because I'm just going to walk you through it and you're going to want to follow along. So let's go into the first steps to building this. The first thing you're going to want to do is create a Printify account. So this is the company that actually does the print on demand for you. There's a lot of companies out there, but just to make it simple, I would just go with Printify. One of the main reasons why is because on the design backend process that they have, this is the easiest one to set up. Like, there's a lot of the other ones that I honestly like some of their hats better, and maybe like some of the supplies that they have better, but their design thing is just so whack that it's really hard to get started. Printify has really good numbers, and it's just going to be the easiest for you to get started. So because we are just trying to get this business off the ground, I'd recommend you just go with Printify for now, especially the t-shirts that I'm going to show you, one of which I'm wearing right now is extremely quality. It's literally one of the most quality t-shirts in my closet. So I'm going to be showing you exactly what t-shirt I would recommend that you actually make. I've ordered lots of samples and gone through lots of them, so I'm going to really make this process easy for you. But if you are ready to get started, then I would recommend pause the video right now, go through the link in the description. It is an affiliate link for helping out the channel, so I'd very much appreciate if you went through that. But go ahead and make your Printify account. Now, the next step after that is you're going to want to make a Discord account. So just go to discord.com, make an account there. We're going to need that for Midjourney, which is the AI art generator that we're going to be using here. So after that, once you've got Discord, or maybe you already have it, you're going to go to midjourney.com, and then you're going to create an account there. And what this looks like is this right here, and I'm already logged in. These are some of the designs that I've made, some of which are for my other companies. Some of these right here are just designs that I've been putting on t-shirts, so you can see some of the things that we're able to make. I've even made some like YouTube thumbnail backgrounds with this, but lots of really cool stuff that you can make. So that's just a tour of some of the designs that I've been able to use. And you're going to want the $10 a month subscription. So I know I'm asking to spend money. This is actually not an affiliate link at all. So I just want to be very straight up with you that one of the best first things that you can do when starting a business is to financially commit yourself to it, especially since it's only $10 a month. You can cancel before month 2 if you really need to, but there's not going to be anything else that you necessarily have to spend money on right away besides this. And it's because the $10 a month version of Midjourney allows you to use these designs commercially. So in order to be legal about this process, to use these designs on clothing that you're going to sell, you do need the $10 a month version. But this is one of the best things that you can do, because if you've wanted to start a company before and maybe you've been toying with the idea for a long time, a lot of people will say things like, well, I want to make some money before I spend some money. And that's just not how a business works. It's spending money to make money. And by doing this, you will say, okay, I am now committed to the process. It's like if you want to start going to the gym, the first thing you should do is buy a gym membership, and now you have to go, or buy some pre-workout. Now you've committed yourself to the process. So just trust me on this. If you've really toyed around with starting a business your whole life and you've never really stuck with it, do this for yourself, because this will really commit yourself to the process. So you'll need the $10 a month version. Now, what you're going to do is, once you're in Midjourney, you can see that you'll be in this channel like this, where all the designs that people are making are just on this public feed. And once you make a design, there's just so many designs always coming up on this public feed all the time that your design will get washed out. So you won't really be able to stick with it. But it's not a problem, because what you're going to want to do is click on Add a Server on Discord on the left side, and then go to Create My Own, and then go to For Me and My Friends, and then just call it Midjourney Creations, or whatever you want your clothing company to be called. And if you don't know what you want your clothing company to be called yet, just call it Midjourney Creations. Don't get stuck at that step. Honestly, naming your company is not that important, nearly as much as just getting started. And then what you'll want to do is go back over to the Midjourney server and click on this Midjourney Bot. So right here where it says Midjourney Bot, then click Add to Server. And then we're going to select the server that you just made, Midjourney Creations. Click Continue, and then Authorize. And now, once you do this I am a human step and go through the iCAPTCHA approval, we can go to the Midjourney Creation server, and then the Midjourney Bot will be in there. So now we'll have just your own server where you can always just go back. Here's my server right here. I called it Imagine because that's the prompt that we always use to get these things started. And here's some of my hourglass designs that I've been making for a t-shirt recently. And you can just always go back to your own designs and not go back to this Midjourney public feed. So after you've got that started, then you're basically ready to go. Those are really the only technical setups that I'm going to have for you. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to make a design for a t-shirt. I'm killing like 8 birds with one stone with this video, honestly, because I need to make a new design for my clothing company. And I'm just going to make it live with you guys right now. And I'm going to show you how this process goes and how you actually want to use Midjourney, because it just, oh, the AI made the art for me. It is not as simple as it is. You really do have to have the eye for this, and you have to have a strategy of prompting and telling it what you want it to do in order for this to work out well. So this program Midjourney is absolutely incredible, but you need to know some of these things that I'm going to teach you here in order to get these kind of simple designs. So I'm going to make a t-shirt with a compass design on it. And I'm going to just show you guys if I want to get like a compass by itself that I can just put on any colored shirt, how I would go about that. And the one other thing I'll say too is if you're trying to make a shirt on it, then maybe it's got a compass and it's got some flowers and it's got a sun and all these other things. A lot of times it's better to just make each of the individual designs by themselves and then compile them all onto Printify after, and then organize them on a t-shirt. So here is how we go about making a design in Midjourney. So I'm going to type in this / key, and then right here it comes up with Imagine. So Imagine is the prompt that we use to just say, hey, I want you to make something for me, Midjourney. And what we're going to have it make is I'm going to say a geometric, minimalist, compass design in, let's go with blue, gold, and black. And then I'm going to say 2D comma, no shadow, comma, white background. And then we're going to click enter and just see what that gives us. And by the way, if you do / and then you type in settings and then you click enter here and we bring this up, these are the settings that I have. You have all these different versions of Midjourney. You basically just always want to use the most recent one. These Niji versions of Midjourney is how to make anime style art. So if that's the style you're going for, there you go. And then public mode and fast mode is what you'll need with the $10 a month subscription. And then stylize, this is still like this compass, or I mean this hourglass that I'm showing you right here was still on the very high. And so like the very high usually does give you the best results. But you can always like play around with it. If you're wanting to go just dead simple with it, then you can change the settings to be style low, medium, high. So we're waiting for this design to start still. And then we'll see what that gives us. And I'm going to show you my process of how we slowly tweak the design to make it exactly how we want it. So while that design is going, let's hop over to Printify and let's go to the catalog. So you can see all these different things that you can make: t-shirts, hoodies, tank tops, skirts, bottoms, mouse pads, postcards, posters, canvases. Ultimately, you just want to go with like whatever you're passionate about doing. I won't say like that any of these are better than the other ones. T-shirts is going to be the most common thing that you guys do. So that's what we're going to be building here. So let's go to t-shirts. And a lot of these are unisex. So as you'll see, a lot of times though, it is good to have like a men's and a woman's separate style because they'll just fit a little bit better. But the one that I highly recommend that you go with, so it's this MWW On Demand is the provider, and then it's by generic brand. These ones right here. So for those of you watching on video, I am wearing this shirt right now that is from this company, got a design on the back. And the reason why I highly recommend them, even though they're not going to be the cheapest one, is because this is an actual very quality shirt. It's 100% polyester. You can put a design literally on any part of this. So if you want an all over t-shirt design, if you want stuff on the sleeves, you can put stuff wherever. And some of these shirts on here will just give you like just this rectangle right here that you can put something, and it will really limit how much you can do with it. But the other thing about this is you can also make the color of the shirt any color that you want. So you don't have to just be like, oh, black, white, gray, or red, or blue. You can literally go with any hex code at all. And an extra little hack I'll tell you is if you go to ChatGPT, so chat.openai.com, and you just ask it, ChatGPT, give me some really cool gray colors for a shirt, some really cool gray hex codes, or some really unique hex codes for t-shirt colors. These are some of the coolest colors of t-shirts that I've ever seen that have gotten from ChatGPT. This one that I'm wearing right here is the 6-ounce version of this shirt. So the other thing you'll see is when we click start designing it, actually, let me go back to, let's go back to Midjourney and see how our design is faring. Okay, cool. So our design came out. So yeah, I'm going to pause right there to what we were doing on Printify, talking about the t-shirt, because we just got our first 4 compasses here. So these are pretty sweet. The first one is probably my favorite just from the initial look. The third one here is probably the simplest. Man, they're all really cool. Like AI art, especially from Midjourney, like never really fails. I will say that DALL-E, I have not been nearly as impressed with from the art that you get. But to go back to like what the prompt that I used here, the geometric, where I said a geometric minimalist compass design in blue, gold, and black. The reason why we say all of that is because minimalist will make sure that it's a lot more simple, that it's not just going to be this, if I didn't say minimalist here, it probably would have given me an image of an actual compass, like a real life compass. If I didn't say geometric, then this would also not be nearly as That's more like my design preference. So the word geometric is just kind of more like the style of t-shirt that I'm going for. And the cool thing is it's always good to just like put this in, and then maybe I would put in, like, let's put in the exact same thing just to show you. And I'm going to just get rid of the word geometric, and we're going to see how it gives me a different result. The other thing with minimalist, so that will make sure that it's like a sketch style and it's really simple. But if you say minimalist without putting any kind of color, it will make it in black and white. So what you can do is, if you don't really care what the colors are, and you just want it to have fun with the colors because it does such a great job at choosing color palettes that work, you could say a minimalist compass in light color, in warm colors, in cool colors, or you could say, in color even. But if you just say minimalist and then you don't give it any kind of preference of color, it will make it in black and white. So just know that with the term minimalist. And then I said 2D. Because you can see in this second image here, it's kind of already starting to give me a 3D looking compass, which just is not going to print on things nearly as well. Now, if you're making like, I don't know, like a lunchbox and you're trying to make it crazy, then maybe you don't put in 2D, but this is just for the type of designs I'm looking for. And then I put in no shadow, which you can see in the second one, it's almost starting to give me a shadow, but that's just something that a lot of times it will add that will make it a little bit too complex to go onto a t-shirt nicely. And then white background is the most necessary step that you give it. And you can see that each of these different things that I'm saying for it to do are separated by commas. So that's really it. You're just putting in what you want and then separating it by a comma, and get creative. I mean, there's so many different prompts that you can use. And if you really just want to get good at making prompts, I would just tell you to go through all the YouTube videos online that are showing you like how to make photorealistic ones and all these different types of prompts that you can do to get different kind of results. But the white background one is really necessary because we're going to have to remove the background on this in order to put it onto a t-shirt. We also have this second variation of compasses that just finished where I didn't say geometric, and it's honestly not that different. So that command is not nearly as important as any of the other ones, but it's always kind of good to just like, put in the prompt again and just see what it gives you. Now, here's what we do when I'm actually choosing the design that I'd want to go with. Like I said, I am going to just make a t-shirt right now that I actually would use. And of all of these compasses, the only one that I think I would actually want to put on a t-shirt is maybe this third one down here. So what you can do is, if you ever really just don't like the 4 variations that it gives you, you can press this button right here, these 2 arrows in a circle. If I were to click this, it's just going to rerun the prompt. Like, it rerun the same prompt, give me 4 new images. If I press U1, that means give me an upscaled version of image 1. So this is image 1, 2, 3, 4. If I say U1, U2, U3, U4, it's just going to give me a full-size version of that, which you're always going to want to use so that you can actually, have the full-size version of the image to put on your clothing, so it's actually higher quality. These V1, 2, 3, 4 would say, give me a slight variation of whichever one you're looking for. And then it will spit out 4 more images that are really close to whichever one that you choose, but aren't exactly that. So once I get this next set of 4 images, I'm going to make my final decision of which of the 12 I like the most, and is closest to what I'd like to put on a t-shirt. I'm already seeing that I think this 4th one here is going to be my new favorite. So those just got done. And I would say so. I think, I really like this 3rd one too. They're all really cool. I just love looking at this art so much. Even if you go to midjourney.com, you can just explore so many other people's art. And it's just so fun to just go through. And this is another way that you can learn prompts. Like, you can see exactly like what they put in as a prompt to generate these different images. And then it can kind of just teach you a little bit more. But all right, back to this. So of these 12 compasses, make sure you comment below which one that you would choose. If these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, then comment below which one you would choose, and I'll go back through the comments and maybe I'll change my mind. But what I'm going to run with is, so this is going to go on a black shirt or white shirt. You kind of want to think like, how many different colors of shirts would this go on? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with option number 4. So, or 12 essentially. So, I'm going to click V4 in this last set of 4 images. And what that's going to do is it's going to give me 4 different variations that are very similar to this one. And this is the process that I follow in order to make sure that I have my absolute favorite image of something. So I've got the 4 variations coming up, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at these 4 variations and then just compare them to the starting point. So do I like this one, the original, more, or do I like any of these 4 more than that is the question that I ask myself. Of these 4, my favorite one would be this third one. So let me compare, do I like this or this one more? Man, I would say I probably like this one the most. So this is kind of my process that I follow. Whichever one of these, if I liked it more, like just to show you, let's say that I did like this third one more. I actually do like the original the most though. I would go for variations of number 3, and then I would see if any of those variations could beat out that. And I basically just say, as long as one of the variations beats out the original, I just keep making variations of that variation and just go down deeper and deeper into that rabbit hole until I say, okay, none of these variations beat out the original. So once I get to that point, then that's when I'm going to say like, okay, this has got to be my final design here. So we've got these new variations that came up. I'm just going to make sure that I don't like any of these compasses more than the original. And then we will go ahead and throw it on a t-shirt. I think these are all just a little bit too complex. They have just too many stars going on. I guess this one has a bunch too. I don't know. Something about this one just hits different. So this is where you're just going to have an eye for it. But I'm going to go ahead and click U4 to get an upscaled version of that image. And now that I have this image, I am going to click Open in Browser. I'm going to save image to downloads. And I'm going to go to canva.com. So this is the other thing, I guess, that you'll probably want the paid version of. What I'm about to do is use a background remover tool. So if you have paid Canva version, paid Canva, then you're already good on this. Otherwise, if you're really trying to keep it free, you can just like go to Google and type in like background remover tool and then just like use that instead. But otherwise, let's go ahead and I'm just going to show you how to do this in Canva, because even though it has a white background, it's not a transparent background. So it will just show up as like a white squared background with the image when we go to actually put it on the t-shirt. So we can't have that. So I'm going to upload and I'm going to stretch it out to the full canvas here. And then I'm going to click Edit Photo and remove the background. And in this one, it should cleanly do it because I don't have any white that is in my image, or actually I do, that's in the inside here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the settings in the background remover tool, and you can see that it has actually taken out some of the image, like in the part that I don't want it to. So you can go to restore, and then you can just come right in here and you can just restore all of this that's in the inside, because otherwise it will be transparent within the interior of the compass. I know for those of you just listening to the audio version of this podcast, that this part especially might be a little bit confusing unless you're pretty seasoned with Canva. But just know I've done the background remover tool, and now I'm just making sure that every part of the image that I want to still be included is in there. Now, the default on Midjourney is to always give you a 1:1 aspect ratio image. So I'm going to show you guys a prompt in a second here. Like for those of you that maybe want to do like a t-shirt design where it's like all over it, Or if you want to do a lunchbox and you want it to be a wide image, I'm going to show you how to do a prompt in Midjourney that will make it any aspect ratio that you want. Otherwise, just know that the default is to always give you a 1:1. So I'm kind of circling around here and I'm filling it all in and just making sure that the image is what I want it to be. And then I'm going to click on the share button, go to download, go to transparent background. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag the size all the way to the max so that we can get a higher quality image to put on the t-shirt. So I've got my compass design that is ready to go onto a t-shirt now. But what I'm going to do, just while I remember, is go back to Midjourney and just show you guys the prompt that you would need if you want a different aspect ratio. So if you were trying to do a Batman lunchbox design, but we needed the aspect ratio to be like, let's say 16:9, then what you do is a comma, space, hyphen, hyphen, AR, space, 16:9. And it has to be done exactly like I just did. That's how you would get something other than a square image. So we'll come back to that in a second. So now I'm at this part of the t-shirt design in Printify, and I'm going to add a design from my device. I've uploaded it into Printify, and like I said before, you can make this shirt literally any color that you want. And I'm going to show you guys a little hack right now, because the shirt I'm wearing is actually not white in the sense that it's not hex code FFFFFF. It is hex code FDFDFDFD. It's called Ghost White, and it's just a slightly off white, and it kind of, I just like the look of it a little bit more. I think it's something different, but this is just a way that you can, give your t-shirt just a slightly different look to it. And this is something that I would recommend that you use ChatGPT for, so that you can just get some really cool colors. So we're going to stick with the Ghost White in this, and then I'm going to click on preview. And you can see that it's pretty big, probably a little bit bigger than I would like to do. So I'm going to go ahead and downsize this a little bit. And if you want to put designs on the back, right sleeve, left sleeve, you can see it's all right here. This is honestly one of the most comfortable shirts that I have. And even though it's about $16 on the cost of production, so you're going to want to sell it for at least like 25 to 35, especially after the shipping charge. I sell mine for 35 bucks. People would rather have a shirt that they love that was a little bit more than a shirt that like they just like never wear that they got for a little bit cheaper, right? So I do think that in most cases you do just want to go quality and not try to make these t-shirts as cheap as you can. But this is going to print a lot higher quality as well than the other cotton shirts on the polyester. I'm going to go ahead and say save product. If you want to buy this, it will be on openaimerch.com. And then at this step, I have it. I'm going to deselect like all of these images that I don't want to display on my store. So like this flat back one, I don't really need, especially because there's no design back there. I'm going to get rid of that. And then I'm going to click right here, because that will make it so this is the front image on my listing. And I feel like that one looks the best to have it on this person, this mock-up. And all of this right here, you're going to want to title this, however you want to, call your t-shirt. And I'm just going to call it Compass Shirt, and you can put in the description here. What I will say is you can use ChatGPT to write these product descriptions for you. So if you want to say, like, give me a product description for a t-shirt that has a compass in it that is in black, blue, and gold, then ChatGPT will give you a really lengthy product description that you can just put right here, and it will do a great job for you. And I'm going to just actually publish it so that you can actually go get this if you want. But that would be how I made my first t-shirt. Now, of course, in order for this to actually go to a website, you have to have it connected to one. So you're going to need to connect it here. And I highly recommend, especially if you don't have any coding experience, in almost every situation, actually, I would go with a Shopify store. So you're going to want to go to shopify.com. I don't have an affiliate link for it. And just get an account. It's $1 a month for the first 3 months, and it goes to $29 a month after that for the base level. But you can create a website that looks just like this. So I'm going to just go to my website here and show you that design should have come in now. There it is right there, the compass shirt. Go ahead and just go buy that, guys, from this website so you can see that it all works out. Just go buy it to make sure it works. But last things here, you can see like white stitching. You have the option of black or white stitching with this t-shirt. Just go with whatever looks better for that particular design. And then fabric weight, this 6 ounce is what I'm wearing right now, and I like it a lot more than the 4 ounce. It's like when you stretch it out, it's not see-through. And I have the 4 ounce one right here actually. And when you stretch this guy out, it's kind of like see-through when you like stretch out the 4 ounce design, because it's just so much thinner. It's not the best example for those of you watching on video, but I would only go with the 4 ounce design if you are selling athletic clothing, because that's better for fitness. It's just a much lighter fabric. But the 6 ounce is by no means a heavier shirt. It just is a lot more quality. And the 6 ounce is $1 cheaper than the 4 ounce too. So I would highly recommend you go with that kind of shirt in the 6 ounce version, and you'll have some very quality clothing and you'll be all set to go. Now, for those of you that are like, okay, cool, I get how to build it, but how do I get my first sales? I'm going to recommend another video for you down in the description. It will appear in a second at the end here. Or if you're just like, I want to get going right away, I want to get launched, I want to get, the sales that you're kind of seeing, I want to get like $600 of sales in the first couple months, you're going to want to go with a program where you actually work with me directly, because there's going to be a lot more steps, as you can imagine, to getting all of this built in the right way and getting your marketing going. So I invite you to book a free consultation call with me in the description, and I will diagnose exactly where you're at, what you're looking to do, and we'll get a game plan for you. And if you could use my continued help at the end of the call, I'll let you know what that would look like. But either way, you can take me up on a free call and you'll learn a lot. Hope you appreciated this video, and I'll talk to you soon.